In 2012, China introduced a new mental health law that was meant to clamp down on this practice. What has happened since then?
We found 144 separate cases between the years of 2015 and 2021, which showed unequivocally that the political persecution of political prisoners, putting them into psychiatric detention, is still carrying on nonetheless, even after this mental health law was introduced. But this is just a snapshot of the full picture. It's not 144 cases, it's probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of people being put into psychiatric detention. All across China, you can see that I think it occurred in 21 provinces, municipalities, and regions. So psychiatric detentions are still alive and well.
In China, the security services actually run their own psychiatric hospitals, as you just said, the Ankang system, where they can put essentially anyone they want. Most of the cases you looked at weren't actually in these facilities. They were in ostensibly legitimate ones. So how do dissidents end up there nonetheless?
Police or government agents, they want to send CCP critics to these psychiatric hospitals, but it's easier for them to do it through civil commitment, not criminal commitment, because under criminal commitment, under the criminal procedure law, they need to have authorization from via a judicial review. Eventually, the case has to go to a judge. So we think that they are probably more likely using the civil commitment route, which means they just take the person to the hospital via whether it's bribery or whether it's coercion or whether it's just the hospital being complicit with the police. They take this patient in as a civil case of compulsory treatment.
And most of the cases you looked at in this report weren't actually of activists, but petitioners, people with a very specific grievance they're trying to take to a higher level of government. Why is it that you think petitioners seem to be especially targeted by the system?
Generally, they're from the sort of very poor countryside, either villages or small towns or counties. They don't really have much resource or many supporters, so they're much easier targets. So for example, if you have a high profile human rights lawyer, when they're targeted off, the friends come out and can tweet and get international community concerned about their fate. But by and far, the majority of petitioners don't have access or knowledge about this system. So they can simply be disappeared